Hi, I'm Chris Maggie with Federal Educators, and welcome to the Federal Employee Benefits Show. Our experience in working with federal employees has taught us that no one solution is right for every situation. In today's show, we will help answer the most common questions that we receive each and every day, such as, how will I retire and when am I eligible to retire? What is MRA? What year should you retire? How do I calculate my FERS, CSRS annuity? What is the cost of the survivor benefit? What happens to FEGLI when I retire? What should I do with my TSP? Should I buy back my military time? When should I elect Social Security? Should I roll over my TSP to an IRA? What about the Roth or traditional IRAs? See, we understand your benefits, its strengths and its weaknesses, and we know how to help you get the most from your retirement plan. This show is to help educate you on your federal benefits and help you take full advantage of all that your federal benefits have to offer. When it comes to your federal employee benefits, what you don't know can hurt you. So sit back, take some notes, all this and more on the Federal Employee Benefits Show, and it starts right now.
But there's something very important to federal people. It's called the income gap. And one of the questions that we ask them is, how much do they need when they retire? And how many times do we get, I don't know, I never thought about it. So how do we address that question?
Let's talk today about the Thrift Savings Plan. Since its inception, the TSP has been a cornerstone of federal benefits for government employees. If you are nearing retirement, it is important to know the updates and changes made to the TSP to ensure you take full advantage of your retirement plan.
I'm excited to talk about something that I know you guys are really good at. And we're going to start with talking about the Thrift Savings Plan, or TSP, as it's sometimes referred to. They've recently changed the contribution limits. How does that affect those in a traditional TSP versus a Roth TSP?
Coming up next on the Federal Employee Benefits Show, the Roundtable segment.
Welcome back to Federal Educators. My name is Bobby Maggie, and I'm here with my son Chris Maggie and Kirk Agus, and we are talking about a lot of concerns for a lot of federal employees. And to let you know that if you need any information, get a free benefits analysis. Just go to our website, federaleducators.com, because everything we're talking about, once we run the report, will make sense to you. And it's about the language. We always talk about that. If you're speaking Greek to me and I don't understand it, then it's not going to help. So I hope this show helps you guys understand that we're trying to get the language. Another thing, Chris and Kirk, that we always address, because we do complete planning for everybody. We do taxes, we do income. But there's something very important to federal people. It's called the income gap. And one of the questions that we ask them is, how much do they need when they retire? And how many times do we get, I don't know, I never thought about it. So how do we address that question?
Great question. Fill in the income gap, right? You want to make sure you have enough income sources in retirement so you can retire. A lot of people don't know, can I retire? Well, that's why when you come in to meet with us, we can do complete planning like income planning, investment planning, Social Security maximization planning. But for federal benefits analysis is so important because we can show you what your pension's going to be. So if you're a FERS employee, we can calculate your pension, and that'll show you exactly how much is coming in. So let's just say right now you're bringing home net $5,000 a month. Well, if you retire, what's your FERS pension? So say we calculate it and it's going to be, say, $2,000 a month. Okay, now we figure out your Social Security and say that's $1,000 a month. So that's $3,000 coming in the front door, but you need $5,000. So we need to, what you say, fill the income gap.
Right.
So how do we do it? Well, for so many years you've been putting away money in the TSP and maybe some other sources, or even your spouse, if you're married, has Social Security, or maybe they have a pension, but those days with pensions, with companies have really, they're gone. Yep. But that's why federal employees have this best benefit of this pension. That's the first pension. But anyway, so you need $2,000 a month. Where are you going to get it from? And that's why the TSP is so important, because you could do bucket planning, and we can design buckets to generate a portion from your TSP to fill that income gap of $2,000 a month. Then you have the other buckets that can let grow, and then you know you have guaranteed income coming in the front door every month for retirement.
So the question is, many federal employees think they can't retire, they don't have enough money, but we talked about the 80% rule where they're not going to be paying certain things, so it kind of reduces that number. But what you said, the income gap, they don't know how to fill it. And they think, well, now I can't retire, I still have to work. That's disturbing, when we sit down and we show them you can retire and you probably have more if you do the planning correctly.
To that point, I think this is where those that are 59 and a half and older need to be able to understand the rules of how they can separate the TSP at that point, because you want to jumpstart that bucket planning, right?
Correct.
We talk about the difference between someone who comes in at 60 versus someone who's 68, that 8-year window, right? And that makes a major difference. If I'm starting on the retirement planning, the bucket planning at 68, versus if I did it 8 years earlier and I'm still working, that's okay, because now you have these other buckets, as you always talk about, Chris, working, doing different things, right? While you're still contributing, right? You're still getting a match from the federal government into the TSP. Then fast forward, you retire, you just simply roll that out to your already opened up IRA.
So let me ask you another question. Let me ask you another question. Suppose they want to retire before 59 and a half and they qualify for what they call a special supplement.
Wow.
Explain how that works, because that's something a lot of people do not understand.
Right.
And again, when we show it from that perspective, they are not aware of that.
Yeah. So the special supplement is a great additional feature for federal employees who meet the eligibility. They have to reach MRA, minimum retirement age, with 30 years of service.
Correct.
Or age 60 with 20 years of service. So think of it this. If you are age 60, you can retire. And what age can we get Social Security?
62.
62, right?
Yeah.
So you retire, you get your first pension, but then you got to wait 2 years to get Social Security. So how are you going to fill that income gap? Well, if you're 60 or older and 20 or more years of service, then you're qualified for that special supplement, which is additional benefit that comes from your agency for those 2 years of time. And then, so you might get about 75% of the amount that you would get at 62 on your Social Security. So that would be an extra income stream plus your FERS pension. And then at 62, you could decide to turn on the Social Security benefit.
I'm just going to ask you, stay with that for a second, because it might be confusing. So if they take it for 2 years at 62, the special supplement stops. Which means their income goes down. The question is, do you want to take Social Security at 62, or do you have other income sources so you don't have to take Social Security at 62 and let it defer to your full retirement age?
And that's why the Social Security maximization report that we do. Kirk, talk about that and how powerful that is.
That is so powerful because, again, going back to many don't know when to take their Social Security benefit, right? Do I take it at 62? Do I take it at full retirement age? Do I just wait till 70? Because, well, that gives me the most per month. But there's a lifetime benefit factor in there, right? That comes into play. Because when you look at 62 and to the special supplement, when that drops off, remember, this, for those that don't know, the special supplement is not the number you get at 62. It's a percentage of that. So when that drops off, you actually get a bump if you were to turn on your Social Security at 62. But you can wait, because then that brings in the whole earnings limit. That's a whole nother ball of wax, right? That comes into play.
Yeah, what Kirk is talking about, many people get confused and they take Social Security at 62 and continue to work.
Right.
And if they make more than a certain amount, they're subject to pay $1 back for every 2 that they make. And the bad news is they get a letter and they do their tax return, as you and I know, and we see it that they had to pay back. And that is disturbing to a lot of people. The problem is that they were not told, well, my advisor said I should take it. But folks, if you're not doing proper planning, what we're talking about here, and you're not understanding the rules, then you can't play the game.
Right.
All right, you're going to get hurt. So, a lot of things that we talked about today, and we hope this helps you out. I know you have questions. Feel free to give us a call or go to my website, federaleducators.com. Request the free benefits analysis, because it's about your leave and earnings statement, about your cost, about everything that you have. So pick up the phone if you want. The number's running across the screen. Go to Federal Educators, just fill in the information, and we'll get you that report. So appreciate you listening. I hope you learned something today. I hope we confused you some more, but it's about learning. So thank you so much. We'll be right back. More from the Federal Educators.
Hi, I'm Chris Maggie, owner of Federal Educators, a company dedicated to helping federal employees just like you. Want to know how much your first pension will be? How about when you can retire? At Federal Educators, we specialized in federal employee benefits for over 2 decades. Schedule your free benefits analysis with us today. Clearly understanding your benefits, such as how and when to take distributions, is critical. Our benefit analysis will cost you nothing. Not taking it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. We look forward to speaking with you.
Hi, I'm Bobby Maggie, owner of Federal Educators, a company dedicated to helping federal employees just like you. How much will you receive in your pension? How much does the survivor benefit cost? Can you keep your health insurance in retirement? With a free benefits analysis, we will answer all these questions and more. As a federal employee, it's critical to have a clear understanding to maximize your benefits. From FERS retirement to Social Security and health insurance, our team at Federal Educators specializes in knowing your benefits. Schedule your free benefits analysis today.
Coming up next is the topic segment on the Federal Employee Benefits Show.
Welcome to Federal Educators. I'm Kirk Agus. The federal retirement process can be complex, and it's important to access accurate information from knowledgeable sources. Each of us at our firm have earned a federal retirement consultant designation that signifies our depth of knowledge and expertise in federal benefits. Call 813-491-1786 to get in touch with us to help you better understand your FERS or CSRS benefits. At Federal Educators, we strive to be a great resource for understanding how to plan for retirement and learning about available benefits and options. Call us today at 813-491-1786 if you have any questions or would like to receive a personalized federal benefits analysis. It's free at no cost or obligation to you. Let's talk today about the Thrift Savings Plan. Since its inception, the TSP has been a cornerstone of federal benefits for government employees. If you are nearing retirement, it is important to know the updates and changes made to the TSP to ensure you take full advantage of your retirement plan. We will take our time and review some of the important TSP updates for 2023 that all federal employees should be aware of. First, let's go over what the TSP is. The Thrift Savings Plan, commonly called the TSP, is a retirement savings plan offered to federal employees and military members. The plan changes each year to improve its offerings and better serve government employees. In 2023, there have been several new changes introduced to benefit participants. Let's go over these changes to the TSP. In 2023, government employees stand to benefit from significant changes coming to their thrift savings plan. These changes aim to improve federal employees' retirement benefits and make the TSP more flexible. As a result, government employees can look forward to new investment options and greater flexibility in deciding how they receive their pensions. One of the most notable changes that arrived to the TSP in 2023 is an increase in contribution limits. Participants can contribute up to $22,500 per year to their TSP accounts for those under the age of 50, and an additional $7,500 for those over the age of 50 who wish to make catch-up contributions. Another significant change is the introduction of Roth investments within TSP. You can also invest your contributions into a Roth account instead of traditional pre-tax contributions. In addition, there are new investment options available within the TSP. Currently, there are only 5 funds available for investment within the plan. The G Fund invests in the short-term U.S. Treasury securities and is considered one of the safest options within the TSP. The F Fund invests in bonds issued by corporations and governments outside the United States. The C Fund invests in stocks of large U.S. companies. The S Fund invests in small to mid-sized companies not included in the Standard & Poor's 500 index. Finally, the I Fund invests primarily in international stocks outside the United States. As previously mentioned, the federal retirement process can be complex, and it's important to access accurate information from knowledgeable sources. At Federal Educators, we strive to be a great resource for understanding how to plan for retirement and learning about available benefits and options. Let's move on to the Secure Act 2.0. On December 29, 2022, President Biden signed the Setting Every Community Up for Retirement Enhancement, or Secure 2.0 Act of 2022. According to Secure 2.0, the mandatory minimum distribution start age will rise from 72 to 73 in 2023 and age 75 in 2033. Once additional information is confirmed, we will update you on how Secure Act 2.0 will impact your TSP contributions. The federal government will continue to make changes to the TSP, and you'll want to ensure you stay informed. With proactive planning and an understanding of the current regulations, federal employees can prepare their finances and retirement funds to be in a strong position as the changes go into effect. If you have any questions or would like to receive a personalized federal benefit analysis, give us a call today at 813-491-1786 or go online to federaleducators.com to schedule a time to meet with us. It's free and no cost or obligation to you. Consulting with our team at Federal Educators can help ensure that individuals are making smart decisions with their money as they plan for retirement. Federal Educators can give you all the help you need with retirement planning for a secure future. Contact our Tampa office at 813-491-1786 and ask for a free benefits analysis. That's it for me today. Stay tuned for more from Federal Educators.
Hi, I'm Bobby Maggie, owner of Federal Educators, a company dedicated to helping federal employees just like you. Do you want to know how much your FERS pension will be? How about when can you retire? At Federal Educators, we've specialized in federal employee benefits for over 2 decades. Schedule your free benefits analysis with us today. Clearly understanding your benefits, such as how and when to take distributions, is critical. Our benefits analysis will cost you nothing. Not taking it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. We look forward to speaking with you.
Hi, I'm Kirk Agus with Federal Educators, a company dedicated to helping federal employees just like you. How much will you receive in your pension? How much does the survivor benefit cost? Can you keep your health insurance in retirement? With a free benefits analysis, we will answer all these questions and more. As a federal employee, it's critical to have a clear understanding to maximize your benefits. From FERS retirement to Social Security and health insurance, our team at Federal Educators specializes in knowing your benefits. Schedule your free benefits analysis today.
Coming up next on the Federal Employee Benefits Show, the Q&A segment.
Welcome back to the Federal Educator Show. I'm Christina Walsh, and joining me today are Bobby and Chris Maggie. Thank you both for joining me today. I'm excited to talk about something that I know you guys are really good at. And we're going to start with talking about the Thrift Savings Plan, or TSP, as it's sometimes referred to. They've recently changed the contribution limits. How does that affect those in a traditional TSP versus a Roth TSP?
Well, great question. I'm glad those questions come in because we get those, each and every week. But every year the changes with contribution limits change in IRAs and 401ks. TSP is no different. So you have the contribution amounts, and then if you're over 50, you have a catch-up, as they call it. So there's a lot of money you can put away. It's up to $30,000 a year if you're over age 50 into a TSP traditional or Roth, which is a great thing for federal employees because you have the choice. You can put some in the traditional side and some into the Roth side. So the traditional side is before tax, where you get a tax deduction by putting it in now, and then all in the future is taxable. If you put money into the Roth side, there's no tax deduction. It's all tax-free in the future. So someone who really doesn't need the tax deduction today and wants to sock away a lot of money, they can put up to $30,000 a year into a tax-free environment, into the Roth TSP if they're over age 50.
Yeah, and the other difference is that on the traditional TSP, if you put in 5%, they match 5%. So it's like free money. But on the Roth side, they don't match. That's the difference because you pay the tax up front, you grow tax-free, and later on you have a tax-free retirement. So that's the difference between both of them. But the contributions are really important right now because they can put a lot in, and believe me, they don't know. They don't know how much they can put in.
So one of the strategies is maybe you put up 5% into the traditional side, and then you put the remaining contribution into the Roth.
Correct.
So you're getting the match, and then you can have tax-free money as well. So some of the strategies we talk about each and every day.
Yeah. And it's amazing because some of the people go, I didn't know I could do that. So they say, well, why wouldn't I do that? And the question is, why aren't you doing that? It's like, we're trying to tell you. So that's the difference. But again, most federal people don't understand, the rules of TSP and Roth, but that's what we do. We try to help them out.
That's great. A lot to understand there, and that's what you guys are good at. So we talked about contributions. Let's talk about now taking money out. Can you explain the in-service withdrawal option with the TSP?
Sure.
Yes. So the age-based withdrawal or in-service distribution is where you have your TSP, and once you reach the age of 59 and a half, then you're able to take the money that's in your TSP traditional or the Roth and separate it. You can open up an IRA or a Roth and then transfer the money over. It's a non-taxable event. So, and the reason why you would want to do that is because you might have options that are better, or maybe outside the TSP, where you can create multiple income streams or different investment options. But when you do this, there's no taxable event. So that's why you want to work with the right advisor to start planning your retirement. So if you're 5 years out or 10 years out and you're age 59 and a half, definitely look at the option, see if it's right for you.
But the misconception of that is that if they do roll it over, they think their TSP is done, and it continues to stay open. You still can put money in, and the government still matches 5%. So like Chris said, you have the money outside the traditional in an IRA, and then you have money still going into the TSP, which they're matching, and then the choice is put 5 in, so they match 5 and put the rest in a Roth and do it again. So it's a big benefit to them. But again, the education side of it, the federal educators or the OPM doesn't tell them that. And we've helped so many people do that. So that's a great question.
Yeah, that's great. So here's another term I don't know that you guys can educate me on. What is high 3, and how does that calculate?
Right. So we always talk about how federal employees have the best benefits. Why? Because they have health insurance with the FEHB. They have the TSP. We talk about contribution and matching. They have FEGLI, which is the life insurance. But they also have
The pension.
The pension, and it's guaranteed income. And most companies these days don't offer the pension anymore. So the high 3 is how do you calculate your pension, and they take your high 3, so your average pay on 3 consecutive years of service. So let's just say you started out and you made $40,000 a year, and then 20 years later, now you're making $100,000 a year. Well, your pension's based off of the last 3 consecutive, or the 3 highest consecutive years averaged out. That's what the average high 3 is. So it's important when you calculate your pension amount.
Yeah, so we run the federal benefits analysis. That's how we show them what they're going to get, which they don't know.
Yep.
They don't understand how the pension works. So when we show them your high 3, and they're always confused, like, what's a high 3? High 3 is your highest income, and they got to go back and they have to look at it because they may be in line for a raise, but it's the highest 3 years, consecutive years, that determines how much they get for a pension, and it's important that they get that, so now they know what they're going to get as a guaranteed income.
Yeah.
Pretty important.
Help them make some more informed decisions about where they're going.
That's the whole point. They need to know the rules.
Yeah. Well, speaking of pensions and making informed decisions, what are the age requirements that are needed to be met to be eligible to retire and collect that pension?
Yeah, so there was the old system with the CSRS, and then they now have the FERS, FERS. So the FERS, where a lot of most employees are now, you have to reach what they call MRA, minimum retirement age, with 30 years of service, or be 62 with 20 years of service, or actually 62 and 5 years of service. So it's 60 and 20, MRA with 30 years of service, or 62 and 5.
Did you get all that?
I think so.
Did you get that?
A little confusion.
Did you write it down?
5.
So you think the viewer knows what's going on?
Yeah.
So let me give you an example. So say I was 63 years old and I want to work for the VA.
Yeah.
I'm 63, I would have to work 5 years.
Right.
So I would be 63 and 5 is 68 and 5 years of service. Now I'm eligible for the pension.
Okay.
So if I work 4 years, then I'm 67 and 4, I'm not eligible for that pension. So again, You have to reach MRA in 30 years of service, age 60 and 20 years of service, or age 62 with 5 years of service, and that's the eligibility.
If you
for
think
the
about that, how many people today don't have that pension? They're working for 3, 4 companies, and they don't have the pension that the older folks had. So the federal employees have the best benefit on the planet because that's what they're working for. Post office people, VA people, any federal agency, even the government.
Yeah.
That's I won't go into names, but they're doing pretty good when they retire.
Yeah.
They know that, so they have the greatest benefits. So that's how that's calculated. Yeah, it's really good.
That's great. Well, thank you both for joining me today and answering some of my questions about
thank you.
TSPs and federal benefits. We'll be back with more after this.
Hi, I'm Kirk Agus with Federal Educators, a company dedicated to helping federal employees just like you. Want to know how much your FERS pension will be? How about when you can retire? At Federal Educators, we've specialized in federal employee benefits for over 2 decades. Schedule your free benefits analysis with us today. Clearly understanding your benefits, such as how and when to take distributions, is critical. Our benefits analysis will cost you nothing. Not taking it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. We look forward to speaking with you.
Hi, I'm Bobby Maggie, owner of Federal Educators, a company dedicated to helping federal employees just like you. Do you want to know how much your FERS pension will be? How about when can you retire? At Federal Educators, we've specialized in federal employee benefits for over 2 decades. Schedule your free benefits analysis with us today. Clearly understanding your benefits, such as how and when to take distributions, is critical. Our benefits analysis will cost you nothing. Not taking it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. We look forward to speaking with you.
Hi, I'm Chris Maggie, owner of Federal Educators, a company dedicated to helping federal employees just like you. How much will you receive in your pension? How much does the survivor benefit cost? Can you keep your health insurance in retirement? With the free benefits analysis, we will answer all these questions and much more. As a federal employee, it's critical to have a clear understanding to maximize your benefits. From FERS retirement to Social Security and health insurance, our team at Federal Educators specializes in knowing your benefits. Schedule your free benefits analysis today.
Thank you for watching the Federal Benefits Show. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Our goal every week is to help you better understand the retirement language so that you know when to retire and, more importantly, if you can retire. Make sure to tune in next week as we continue discussing all your federal benefits. Retirement may be more within your reach than you think. Request your free benefits analysis so you can understand all your federal benefits. Visit us online at federaleducators.com. And that's all for today, and we look forward to seeing you here again next week.